Good evening. We will now call the Palm Beach County School Board meeting of August 21st to order. Mrs. Bass, please call the roll.
District 1, Barbara McQuinn.
Here.
District 2, Chuck Shaw.
Here.
District 3, Karen Braille.
Here.
District 4, Erica Whitfield.
Here.
District 5, Frank Barbieri.
Here.
District 6, Marcia Andrews.
Here.
District 7, Deborah Robinson, absent.
All right, we have a quorum with 6 board members present. Also in attendance on the dais is Superintendent Dr. Donald Fenoy, General Counsel Julie Enrico, and Inspector General Lung Chu. And joining us for the first time this year is our student representative, Jaden Manuel, a senior from Royal Palm Beach High School, who is the Palm Beach County Student Council President. His Student Council Advisor, Mrs. Chelsea Riddle, is with him tonight. Also welcome Jaden and Miss Smith. At this time, I'd ask everyone to please stand for presentation of colors and the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Jaden. Here to present the flag is the Lake Worth Community High School Air Force Junior ROTC.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Singing the national anthem is the Wellington Community High School Chamber Chorus.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave,
Right, face, forward, march. Left, 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 right, left.
Thanks again to the young men and women from Lake Worth Community High School and Wellington Community High School Chamber Chorus. I'd like to once again remind all who will be speaking today that this meeting is being transcribed in real time so it can be viewed with closed captioning. Please speak at a reasonable pace so the transcribers can fully capture what you are saying. First item on the agenda will be the approval of the minutes. There's June 5th, and the minutes they're all from June 5th. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Motion by Mrs. Andrews, seconded by Mrs. Whitfield. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. We have 2 items added, Mr. Superintendent, BRD 3 and P3.
Yes, sir. Those are 2 items we're adding for good cause.
The good cause exists for the adding of BRD 3 at this time in order to comply with recent statutory requirements that requires prior approval of board member out-of-county state travel over $500. And with respect to P3, good cause exists to add this item so employees can start in their new positions as soon as possible. Mr. Superintendent, any items to withdraw?
No, sir. I have nothing to withdraw at this time.
Board members, we have 1 item that's been pulled from the agenda so far, SW1. Does anybody else want to pull anything at this time? Seeing none, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Mrs. Whitfield, seconded by Ms. Brill. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Are there any disclosures or abstentions? Seeing none, Mr. Superintendent, your comments to the, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, everyone. And a special welcome to our new student representative, Jaden Manuel. Jaden, we look forward to you working with us, and it's going to be a great year. Jaden to all of our students played a vital role in making the start of this school year one of the smoothest in recent history. Students showed up ready to learn on the very first day, and so again, congratulations to our entire district staff. I commend you for a job well done. School police department, you did a remarkable job. The district promised that all 179 district-operated schools and all 52 charter schools would have at least one armed officer on campus on the first day and every day, and we kept that promise. Here's a recap of the first day of the 2019-2020 school year.
A new school year in Palm Beach County,
Happy back to school, everybody.
starting with lots of goals.
What's your name?
Goal 1, student safety. While on the bus and at school,
This is just not an operation that happens during school hours. Our teams work together 24 hours a day.
school district police and agencies throughout the county teaming up to make sure there's an armed security officer on all district and charter campuses every day.
That's why we do drills together, we train together, and whatever my resources are his, and vice versa.
Goal number 2, welcome students to school with enthusiasm and smiles. Even high fives from the 15-year-old rising tennis star, Coco Gauff. Greeted students at Village Academy and donated more than 150 backpacks. Now to goal number 3, celebrate the accomplishment of last year's goals.
We chose to start at Jupiter L today because we just want to celebrate the fact that the school went from a C to an A in 1 year.
A major goal also attained in the Glades. No D or F schools for the first time in 20 years.
Our goal this year for Lakeshore Middle School is to continue to improve on the success that we had last year in student achievement.
An especially big accomplishment for Gladeview Elementary, which jumped 2 letter grades to a C.
It's exactly the look we wanted.
Goal number 4, introduce students and families to their school's new principals.
So joining this amazing school has just been about me learning their customs, learning their culture, and fitting myself in to what they already have established.
Another major goal, improving our schools. Thanks to the penny sales tax, that goal continues into this school year as crews work on a brand new school for Verdi Elementary and Okahili Middle School students enjoying their updated building. Home to one of the top international Spanish academies in North America, where students in AP Spanish can earn college credit.
¿Tú hablas español?
Above all, our main goal is teaching students.
Absolutely, and there's even more great news. Our district recently received the 2019 Making Strides Together Award for Excellence in Education. This prestigious award recognizes districts that have worked diligently to improve student achievement. I would like to acknowledge several staff members who contributed significantly. Diana Fetterman, Dana Godak, Mark Howard, Carlene Millen, and Ed Tierney. Thank you for your dedication. I have a couple of, give them a round of applause. I have a few more shout-outs this evening. It gives me great pleasure to congratulate District 6 Board Member Marsha Andrews on the well-deserved recognition she received recently from the American Legion Post 390 in Wellington. Ms. Andrews is recognized for her dedicated service and the activities that she supports for the American Legion programs. Let's give her a round of applause. I also like to acknowledge Dr. Johnson, who serves our district as a Director of Choice and Career Options. She was one of just 7 selected nationally to serve in this honorable position during the investor ceremony at the Pentagon. Dr. Johnson is the civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army. Again, as a military child, a parent, my father spent 22 years in the military. Thank you for serving our country, Dr. Johnson, and let's give her a round of applause. And now I would like to invite our Deputy Superintendent, Keith Oswald, to the podium to help us welcome the new principal of Forest Hill High School.
Thank you, Dr. Fenoy, and good evening, board members. I know I said last month I wouldn't be back. But congratulations to Dr. Stratos and the opportunity that she's taking up there with Dr. Rodriguez. And I'm pleased to announce tonight our new principal, pending your approval, for Forest Hill High School, Esther Rivera. Ms. Rivera?
Good evening, Chairman Mr. Barbieri, Vice Chairman Mr. Shaw, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Fenoy. I am extremely honored and humbled to have been selected as principal of Forest Hill Community High School. I would like to sincerely show appreciation to Mr. Pegg, Mr. Tierney, Ms. Wetzel, Dr. Sanders, Ms. Haynes, and Mr. Oswald for their support throughout my career. My family, who's here with me tonight, and whose endless love and support have allowed me to continue to aspire to new heights. With much perseverance, work ethic, and continuous dedication to the community and students of Palm Beach County, I can truly say that sigo alcanzando mis metas y mis sueños. I continue reaching my goals and my dreams. Dr. Fenoy, thank you for entrusting in me the opportunity to continue the legacy that Forest Hill Community High School has made in Palm Beach County. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to continue great work at Forest Hill. And lastly, what I'll say to our over 2,200 teachers with less than 5 years of education, time in the district, another 2,200 teachers who have 5 years or better, and for another 7,700 teachers who have over 10 years. On Friday, the supplements are coming. And so our teachers deserve this. I want to thank this board and this community for making this available to our teachers. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my comments for today.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Board member comments, Ms. McQuinn.
So many wonderful things happening to open school, and I think, we'll never thank you enough, but I think we have thanked all of you for making a great open of school happen. I do want to share with you that the week before our students reported to school, I met Mr. D'Amico, principal of Watson B. Duncan Middle School, at the airport with several of his teachers to welcome an exchange teacher from China who will be at Watson B. Duncan this year teaching some of the Chinese language, but the culture. And very exciting to me was that there was a small instrumental ensemble comprised of a brand new ninth grade program at Palm Beach Gardens High School. They were instrumental music, and they welcomed, much to the concern of airport security, but they were really gracious to our students, who welcomed our teacher from China. The cool thing is that I asked the students, well, where did you come from 8th grade? And we had a student from Bear Lakes, John F. Kennedy, the Conservatory School, and Watson B. Duncan Middle School. So it was such a great group of students who've come together so that we can offer strings as a continuation, as a temporary stopgap from the Conservatory Middle School. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McQuinn. Ms. Whitfield.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say welcome back to everyone. I got to say, summers are boring without all of you here, and I miss you terribly. So I'm so glad we have everybody back. I've been visiting at a lot of schools in the last couple of weeks, and it's just been such a pleasure to see the joy and the excitement for learning on the children's faces. I asked all of them, if they were thrilled to be back in school, and they really resoundingly, at least at the elementary level, pretty thrilled. I'm really happy to have them back. And have all of our teachers, and I'm so glad everyone had a good summer. And so I wanted to talk about two quick issues that I think are of importance to me coming up in this year, especially the first one, which is an item that is on our agenda this evening for approval by the board, which is about our upcoming census. It's something that we are doing, basically an approval of saying that we are going to work to make this census happen. This is really important, and I didn't want to pull this off the agenda because really what I want to do is show my support for it and really verbally ask that everyone in the community help their community members to fill out this census. It is a time of stress among some of our family members in the community. It's a time where they feel insecure about stating who they are and where they live. And so I believe it is on our schools, which is what we're saying in this document, but I want to say it out loud even more, that it's on our schools to help this to happen, because without that, we will not count the people who live with us and therefore not receive the funding that we should receive from the government. So we really need to be proactively going after families and trying to assure them that this is against the law for anything bad to happen to families that come and apply and record their existence here in the census. So I think that is a very important thing. And I would really like to ask our principals to help us with that. The second thing I wanted to mention is as we are welcoming all of our students into our traditional K through 12 schools, that we really put an emphasis on making sure that every student in the community attend a VPK or a pre-K program. This is really, when I look at our low 300 schools, the schools that are struggling the most, the schools that traditionally have lower grades within our community, this is an area where we can have the biggest impact, I believe. So I wanted to reach out, since it's the beginning of the school year, and say if you know anyone in your community who should be in school, we need to tell the families and get across to the families that putting your children in a VPK program is not you not doing your responsibilities as a parent, raising your child, but really giving them a great opportunity to learn more. So VPK is free. It is out there in your communities. I serve on the Early Learning Coalition. We even have funding out there for extended day. But I think it is of utmost importance that our community understand that this is something that we can give to all our children, and we need to increase the number of children attending VPK. So those are the two things that I wanted to say with the beginning of this school year, but I am looking forward to a great year. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ms. Whitfield. Ms. Brill?
Thank you. And I wasn't going to make any comments tonight because of my laryngitis, but I do have to talk about something. So I just wanted to make everyone aware, some of you in the room remember the name Zachary Gottsigan. Zachary was the first fully included student with Down syndrome who graduated from the School of the Arts from our district. He's now 34 years old, and on Friday, a movie is being released. And you might have read about it in People magazine about a week ago, or you might have seen him on the Today Show. But Zachary is going to be starring with Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson in a movie that was written for him called The Peanut Butter Falcon. It's being released in a limited number of theaters, but there's even talk right now that this independent film may receive, and Zachary may receive, an Academy Award. But Zachary's mother fought for him as an advocate. It took 5 years for them to make this movie. So if you have an opportunity, it's a feel-good movie. I know that Zach and his mom would be thrilled to know that you went out and watched it. But, you know, we're doing great things in this district. And this is yet another one of our graduates who people said, oh, you know, it wasn't going to happen. And here he is starring in a major picture. So I hope you all get to see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brill. Mrs. Andrews?
Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone. And yes, we are back. When I look and I see Wellington High School Chorus, Lakeworth High School Junior ROTC, and I look down and I see Jaden Manuel, a Wildcat from Royal Palm Beach High School, our student council leader. You're awesome. We know that we're back, and we're back with a bang because we see our students leading the way for all of us. I want to thank everyone who took part in making sure that our schools opened and every student was taken care of. We kind of think about it and take it lightly sometimes, but every child needs to start school on the very first day with everything that they need. And I just remember going to the celebrations for back to school, the backpack giveaways, the school uniform giveaways. I want to thank those people from our community. Coco Goff out there at Village Academy. In Pahokee, the lines were long. Wellington gave 1,000 backpacks. When we look all over Palm Beach County, everyone helps to get our children back to school, ready to start on day one, being happy and successful. And when we look at ourselves as an A-rated school district, it takes all of us helping the children become the success that they will be in life. And when I think about the Glades region, we did it last year, but we're going to just turn it out this coming year with making things happen for children. Children all over Palm Beach County need all of our support. So I'm excited that we're back. I'm excited for our teachers. They're getting that money, that bonus money that they've needed for a long time on Friday. Big deal for our teachers, big deal for everyone in taking care of our children. And just on last night, we were all together at Wellington Education Advisory Committee meeting. And this is a board that works closely with every school in Wellington. They're giving every school $36,000+ for the lowest 25% of their students to work with tutorials, to work with technology, whatever it takes to make sure our children are successful. So when I look at success, I see it every day, but I see it out here at the district office as you work with the principals and work with the schools, as the parents work with the students, as the community and the stakeholders work with all of us to make sure all children are successful. And yes, this is Palm Beach County. We're an A-rated district because we care about our students and we care for one another. It takes the village. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. Mr. Shaw?
Thank you very much. This evening, I simply want to say thank you to some of the people who are very seldom recognized at board meetings, and many of people in the public are not aware of how hard these individuals work and the jobs they have. But I'd like to thank our Chief of Staff, Mr. Tierney, Mr. Burke, our Chief Operating Officer, Mrs. Paul, Mr. Oswald, everybody in the area offices, the instructional superintendents and the regional superintendents, our maintenance staff, everybody who worked so hard over the last several months to get school ready to open. I understand we had a couple schools that were struck by lightning that had air conditioning issues, and maintenance was there quickly and responded to try to get that back up. But I think it's really important that tonight we recognize all of them, and especially to our superintendent, Dr. Fenoy, for doing an amazing job and being there. I think he started, what time, 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock? On 3 o'clock on the first day of school. But these are the people who are behind the scenes so much of the time, but these are the people who do so much. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Board members, I've attached the chairman's report to the agenda tonight. There's a list of all the meetings I attend on behalf of the board, but I want to cover some of those with you. At the request of Josephine Gahn, Vice President of the Jewish Community Relations Council, who asked me to meet with her and other organizations representing the Jewish community to discuss Holocaust studies and related issues in light of the Spanish River situation, I scheduled a meeting here at the district office on July 29th. In attendance were Ms. Gahn, as well as Chief of Staff Tierney, Deputy Superintendent Oswald, Chief Academic Officer Sheffield, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning Diana Fetterman, Director of Communications Claudia Shea, Michael Hoffman, President and CEO of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, Yael Hirschfield, Regional Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Lawrence Milstein, Regional Director of the American Jewish Committee, Lauren Gross and Paul Gross, Gross Family Center for the Study of Anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, Ira Gerstein, Board Chair of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County, Stacy Lampert, Chair of the Jewish Community Relations Council, and Lynn Pasekas, Chair of the Anti-Semitism Task Force. I know Ms. Brill has had follow-up meetings with leaders of the Jewish community, and that I thank her on behalf of the board for working with the Jewish community to allay the concerns they had with respect to Holocaust studies in our schools. Also, as I advised the board in our workshop on July 31st, I was attempting to have a meeting scheduled with the General Counsel, the Inspector General, HR, and principal leadership. That meeting took place on August 8th, and among the persons present were Chief of Staff Tierney, Principals David Alfonso, Ed Capitano, Maureen Werner, and Corey Brooks from principal leadership. From the Office of Inspector General was the Inspector General Lung Chu, Consul for Inspector General Liz McBride, and Investigator Oscar Restrepo. From Human Resources, we had Dr. Gonzalo LaCava and Vicki Evans-Perret. From the General Counsel's Office, Shantoya Bernard and Blair Littlejohn, and from School Police, Captain Michael Waits. I believe some suggestions as to policy changes will be coming forward as a result of that meeting. On August 9th, I set up a tour for the members of the Boca Raton City Council to tour the temporary school housing Verde Elementary this year while its new school is being constructed, and I thank them on behalf of the board for making the temporary school and the permanent new elementary school to follow possible for providing millions of dollars worth of land from the city's land to the district. I was asked to attend and express the board's thanks at several administrative meetings in the last few weeks. I attended the Principal Leadership Academy at Dreyfus School of the Arts on July 25th, Transportation In-Service Day at Palm Beach Central High School on August 1st, the back-to-school kickoff pep rally in the Fulton Holland Cafeteria on August 6th, the meeting of all district directors in the boardroom on August 14th, and the Office Depot Start Proud event at Glade-View Elementary School on August 16th. I also visited Pahokee. As I promised Mr. Denard, I would go back and take a look at the school condition after what I saw earlier on in the summer, and I want to thank Mrs. Paul for that school is in much, much better condition. There's still some things that have to be done, but I understand they're in process, but Pahokee High School was in much, much better shape than when I originally saw it. And I also want to advise the board that I visited 3 charter schools on Monday to ensure that the schools had a safe school officer on their campuses last week. I visited the Worthington High School and and Worthington High School, Quantum High School, and Slam Middle High School. At Quantum, I found that they had a Boynton Beach police officer there last week, and at the other 2 charter schools, they had the sheriff's office. So I found that the district is in compliance, at least with those charter schools, and I've followed up with the superintendent and the chief's office, and I know that we had a safe school officer at every single one of the charter schools. Last week, they were there the first day of school, and they were the entire week from bell to bell, as the law requires. If you have any questions with respect to the report, they have to be submitted at an open meeting, so you can do that at the next board meeting if you'd like to ask any questions. That's all I have, and now we need to move to presentations. And now Ms.